We're happy to be joined today by Hall of Famer Gary Player. Thanks for stopping in and visiting us.
It's my pleasure. I enjoyed our interview we had in New York. It was really fun.
Yeah, you've been making the rounds. We appreciate the time. I want to ask you first about this golf course, Chambers Bay. It gets mixed reviews. Some guys love it, some guys not so much. What do you think of this place?
Well, I think it's not very nice. I'm sorry to say that. I hate to be critical because the US Open is such an important tournament, and I think it was wonderful that the USGA went to Bethpage and played on a public golf course, because professional golf is extremely healthy at the moment, but amateur golf is really poor. You buying a golf club for $1 now. We're using so much water. We've got to make golf courses shorter. This is 7,900 yards long. An average golfer here, if he's a 16 handicap, he'd probably shoot 30 or 40 over par. You've got to make it so they can... Golf has got to be speeded up.
Yeah.
If a husband's away all week and he plays golf, he should come out and play 12 holes, go home and be with his family. This is a whole day. They charge a lot of money. We've got to start doing things to encourage the average man to play golf. Professional golf is just a small part of the game.
Yeah. Let's talk about a more positive topic then. Let's talk about Jordan Spieth, 21 years old, defending Masters champion, and here he is again on the leaderboard. What do you think of Spieth, and what do you think are his chances of becoming a 21-year-old who's halfway to a Grand Slam?
First of all, I'm a tremendous admirer of the man himself. He's got good heart, and I love that. I watched him with his family and his sister. Has a lot of love in his heart. He is the best putter in the world today, and that's the thing that always wins golf tournaments. If you look at Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, they were probably the worst drivers according to the stats on the tour for years and years, and yet they were number 1 and number 2. So I continuously hear people say, oh, my son or this boy is going to be a champion. He hits the ball 350 yards. Length is the most overrated thing in golf. 70% of golf is played from 100 yards in. That's where you've got to be a champion. Strong mind, eat properly, exercise, learn to accept things in adversity. That's what I want to hear people do. Now, Jordan Spieth, he's won the Masters, tied the all-time record, Tiger's record. Should have broken it, actually.
Yep.
And here he is in the lead. Be wonderful for golf. I'm always looking at things that are going to be great for the game. If he could win, obviously now he's got 2 legs in. Can anybody ever win 4 in 1 year? Hasn't been done. A lot of good publicity about it. Phil Mickelson, a man I admire very much, who's behaved extremely well, looked after the gallery, looked after the media. The media, if it wasn't for the media, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have these big tournaments. So, and sponsors. So I'd love to see him after 6 seconds win and join the 5 of us, and also being left-handed. But I've been second in 7 majors, and only your wife and your dog knows about it.
It's not a fun place to be, second place.
No.
I also want to ask you about Tiger Woods. This has been, I don't know if there's any other way to describe it other than a disaster for Tiger. What do you make of Tiger's situation right now, and where does he go next from here?
The most important thing for us to realize that we need Tiger Woods. Besides being a man of color, which for me is important because in Africa where I live, we want to have young black people who want to play golf looking at a world champion being black. It's a big encouragement factor. In Asia and all over the world, he's been an icon. Nobody today can play golf like Tiger played when he was in his prime. We know that. He wins the US Open by 15 shots. And then he goes to all these pros for lessons. Not that these pros are bad teachers, but when you're number 1 in the world, you've got to go to somebody for a lesson that's been in the arena, that's played in majors, that knows about the mind, knows about body, knows how to adjust the mind, knows how to prepare for a tournament. All these things are vital. Now, if he finds the right person, his choice hasn't been that good so far. If he does, he has enough gas in the tank, he has so much ability, he can come back, and I sincerely hope he does.
How did you've had slumps. All golfers go through highs and lows. What was the worst slump you ever had, and how did you come out of it?
I certainly never went from the best to 195th in the world. I mean, because I always had a pretty good idea of the basics in the golf swing, and I never went to all different people to get confused. Because if you go to 10, let's say you go to the 10 best teachers in the world, every one of them will tell you something different.
Sure.
So you're going to get fouled up. And I loved what Trevino said. They said, who's your teacher? He said, when I find somebody that can beat me, I'll have a lesson from him. And that was a great answer. So you can have a coach, but you can be overcoached.
Yeah.
And that's the terrible thing about it. I get very depressed when I hear people say, well, Tiger's playing badly because of his weight training program. Well, how come I'm at 80 years of age and can shoot 70 average and beat my age by 10 shots almost every time I play?
Well,
I'm still
that's
pushing.
a very special club to be able to shoot your age.
I'm still pushing 400 pounds with my legs. I do 1,300 crunches. I've got this like a plank. I do 100 and 200 crunches with a 100 pound on my chest. I put the treadmill on max. Why? How come I'm playing well? It's only people that are lazy, because you've got to remember the average man doesn't worry about health or exercise or eating properly. So what do? They sit in an armchair and they criticize the best in the world. I find that hilarious.
All right, Mr. Player, we'll leave it there. We appreciate the time, and good seeing you again.
Thank you.
All right.
All the best.